My phone buzzed just 30 minutes before dinner. I had already put on my navy blue dress, the one I wore to family gatherings. Nothing fancy, just neat enough so my daughter-in-law, Marissa, wouldn't make that quiet judgmental face she always made. I smiled when I picked up the phone, expecting Garrett to ask if I was bringing dessert. Instead, I read 8 words that made my hands freeze. "Don't come tonight. Marissa doesn't want you there." That was it. No explanation. No apology. Just a message from my own son. I sat down slowly at the kitchen table. I'm Edith Carter, 77 years old, and in that moment, I realized something painful. My son didn't even think I deserved a phone call. Memories rushed through my mind. Garrett, as a little boy, was holding my hand on his first day of school. Garrett was crying at 12 when his dog died. Garrett is introducing Marissa to me, smiling proudly. "Mom, she's wonderful. You'll love her." And I tried. I helped them every time they needed it. When Garrett's business failed, I wrote a $20,000 check. When Marissa wanted to go back to school, I paid her tuition. When they found their dream townhouse by the river, I gave them $120,000 for the down payment. Garrett had hugged me that day. "Mom, this house will always have a place for you." Apparently, there is no place at the dinner table. I stood up and walked to my desk, where I kept all my financial folders. The thickest one was labeled Garrett. Inside were 20 years of helping, car payments, mortgage transfers, credit card bailouts. For the first time in years, I asked myself a question I had avoided. Was this love or just a habit they had gotten used to? That night, I barely slept. But by morning, my mind was clear. I called the bank. "My name is Edith Carter," I said calmly. "I want to stop all automatic payments from my account." The woman paused. "All of them, ma'am?" "Yes. And remove my son Garrett Carter from any financial authority." 10 minutes later, she confirmed something that felt unreal. 174 payments had just been frozen. Mortgage support, car loans, credit cards, everything. For the first time in decades. My money belonged to me again. But the silence didn't last long. Because 2 hours later, my doorbell started ringing like someone was in a panic. When I opened the door, Garrett rushed inside. "Mom, what did you do?" "The bank called. The mortgage bounced. Marissa's car payment failed. Everything stopped." His voice rose. "Did you cancel the payments?" I looked straight at him. "Yes." His face went pale. "But why?" I spoke calmly. "You told me not to come to dinner." Garrett rubbed his forehead. "That was a misunderstanding. Marissa was upset." I poured 2 cups of tea. "You didn't mean to say it," I replied quietly. "Or you didn't expect consequences?" He didn't answer. Instead, he whispered something that broke my heart. "But Mom, you've always helped us." I leaned back and asked one simple question. "Garrett, tell me one thing you've ever done for me." He frowned. "What do you mean?" "One thing you did because you wanted to. Not because you needed something." The room went silent. Because we both knew the truth. 2 days later, my grandson Toby showed up. He looked nervous, pacing around my living room like a teenager about to confess something. "Grandma, I need help." I folded my hands calmly. "What happened?" "My credit cards are frozen. I can't pay rent. My car payment is late." "How much do you owe?" He hesitated. "About $7,000. I raised an eyebrow. "What did you spend it on?" Toby looked embarrassed. "A new phone, a trip with friends, some parties." I nodded slowly. "You've been working for 2 years now, right?" "Yeah. So why didn't you save anything?" He shrugged. "I guess I always thought I could ask you." His honesty surprised me. And that was exactly the problem. "You've all gotten used to thinking I'll fix everything," I said. "But I'm not your bank, Toby." He leaned forward desperately. "Grandma, please, just this once." I shook my head. "No." His shoulders dropped. But then I added something. "My lawyer, Mr. Whitaker, needs a part-time assistant. Answering phones, filing papers." Toby looked confused. "You'd help me get that job?" "Yes. But I won't pay your debt." For the first time in his life, someone had told him no. And strangely enough, It might have been the best thing for him. That evening, Rebecca came over. Unlike everyone else, she didn't look stressed. She carried a bag of groceries and hugged me tightly. "Grandma, I just came to check on you." We cooked dinner together quietly. After a while, she said something that surprised me. "I think you did the right thing." "You do?" I asked. She nodded. "I've watched how everyone treats you. Mom especially. She lives like a queen, but somehow you're always paying the bills." Hearing that from Rebecca hurt, but it also felt honest. Before leaving, she hugged me again. "I love you, Grandma. Not for your money. Just you." For the first time in days. I smiled. A week later, Garrett called again. "Mom, we need to talk as a family. Tomorrow. 2 o'clock. My house," I said. But when I looked out the window the next day, I saw something unexpected. 3 cars pulled into my driveway. Marissa stepped out first. Perfect hair. Perfect makeup. Behind her were her parents and sister. An audience. When I opened the door, she smiled politely. "We're here to discuss the situation." I crossed my arms calmly. "This is my home," I said. "Not a courtroom." Then I pointed to the driveway. "Garrett, Marissa, Toby, and Rebecca may come in. The rest can leave." Marissa's smile disappeared. But eventually they went back to their cars. Inside the living room, Marissa started speaking immediately. "Your decision affects everyone," she said. "My parents' retirement plans. Toby's future. Garrett's finances." I raised my hand. When did I become responsible for all of that? No one answered. Because they all knew the truth. They weren't there to fix the relationship. They were there to save their lifestyle. Garrett looked tired. "Mom, we've come to rely on your help." "You didn't rely on it," I replied calmly. "You expected it." Then I turned to Marissa. "Tell me one thing you've ever done for me." She opened her mouth. Then, it closed it again. Finally, she snapped. "You'll regret this when you're alone." I didn't flinch. "Family isn't a word you use when you need money," I said. "It's a choice you make every day." Then I stood up. "I want you all to grow up. And now I want you to leave." They walked out quietly. Only Rebecca stayed behind. She hugged me. "I'm proud of you, Grandma." 6 months later, everything had changed. Garrett and Marissa sold the big townhouse and moved into a smaller apartment. Toby took the job with Mr. Whitaker. And me? I finally did something for myself. I went to Italy. Now I sit on a terrace in Tuscany watching the sunset over vineyards. For the first time in decades. No one needs my money. No one expects me to fix their problems. And strangely enough, that's when I finally found peace. Because sometimes the strongest thing a mother can do is stopping the rescue of people who have forgotten how to respect her.